Yep, you're watching New Car Spin. I'm in Washington State. I'm at a cigar shop that I go to all the time. Say hey to Daniel and Solomon for me. This is the rental car I've got. It's a Toyota Corolla LE. It's pretty much basic, bone stock. It has power windows and a few other things. I left it running because that's just how I roll here. Running and unedited and all that stuff. So it's got a traditional key. You put that in, you turn it, the engine starts. Pretty much that's what a Corolla does. It starts. Let me get my seatbelt on. I've had this car for a couple days, and actually beyond the road noise, it's got a lot of tire noise in here. It's actually a decent car. They've really improved the Corolla, and I'm a fan of that. They've made it what it needs to be, which is a really easy to drive, economical car. Let me just let that Corvette go by. Alright, we're going to go just around the corner here. This car does have a really good, how would you say, a really good balance to it. I can go through corners just fine. It's actually starting to rain too, which is funny, because we're in a front-wheel drive CVT. Let that one car go, and then we're going to go for it. This is in Kennewick, Washington. They have these roundabouts, which are very nice to have. You have to basically wait for the traffic in the circle to go before you enter it, which is unlike what they have in Houston, Texas. I have a really silly video on that. It's very mind-boggling. It actually hurts to watch, so don't go watching that. Let's see, what can I tell you about this car? The drive is very slow. It's a CVT, so there's no real hard acceleration. There are no paddles in here. There's no sport button. It's not like that Toyota Corolla I reviewed back in 2017. We do have a map, but we don't have navigation. There's no app for it. We can obviously put our phone screen, what do you want to say? You connect it via the USB, right? And then we have typical Toyota nonsense here on like a base car. It's just like a screen to make you feel like you're missing out on stuff. Let's make that left turn. Floored. Oh yeah. Listen to that. Humble growl. That's all I'm gonna say. The design in here is better than the old one. I am a fan of this design, even though this is the basic version. We don't have stitched leather look on the door or anything like that, or even on the dash. But it still has a great feel to it. It feels like a very nice rental car, is what I'm going to tell you, because it is actually a very nice rental car. I think I'll just let all those cars go. Come on. Alright, so, that's floored. It's hard to pass people in this car, but that's the point. As a rental car, you don't need to go too quickly to get around town because you're not used to where you are. Porter's Barbecue, by the way. I was there yesterday for lunch. Pretty good. Very Texas-y like. It's the only place in Washington State I know that has brisket. Auto climate control. We have, I don't know if we have, we do have radar cruise, emergency braking, lane keeping assist, voice guidance, or voice command for obviously the, not guidance because we don't have navigation in here, but voice commands for that system. And I don't even know the price. We do have a glove box. I don't know what's in the glove box. Not a window sticker, obviously. And a pretty big manual. Toyota loves big manuals. So, it's crazy. Cloth seats. As far as the seats, they aren't terrible. They're pretty supportive. I wish they had lumbar adjustment. They don't. You have a height adjustment that's very similar in size and location to the seat back adjustment. But I have it perfectly tuned right now, so I'm not going to mess with it. I do like the cloth interior, especially on the hot day. It was 107 here yesterday. Pretty hot. He's gonna go for it anyway. Okay, trailer park. I'm gonna pull into the Target parking lot here because I actually have to go get something before I get out of this town. What I'll do is I'll park it, and then I'll do a quick walk around. I want to show you something that bothers us. It's basically called build quality, and we all have our little pet peeves. We may talk about like material as far as like, oh, the leather's not good, or this is too harsh, or the fabric picks up too much lint. As a rental car, I don't imagine they clean it very much in here, and it still looks pretty clean. There's no sunroof. It's pretty basic, but it's not bad. I mean, I'm not the only one at the hotel who had a Corolla in this color. It's not hard. Let's pull that key out. Electronic parking brake, which automatically sets when you put it in park. Traction control disable, which is more than what the Chevy Cruze had. And auto hold at the red lights, which you can enable every time you get back in the car. So, let's see. I'm going to walk around. What I want to show you, though, as far as build quality, is right here. This is a weird thing to see. It is this weld point. That is not cool. I mean, you figured this would be one piece and then welded somewhere down there, right? But it's not. It's welded up here. So this is one piece somehow in the door, which makes this a very weird build. And I'll show you the trunk. There's no trunk release button in here. And this is the key. We have a standard key, and then we have a key with a button on it, right? It flips out. So I don't know why the rental agency gave me two keys, but I'll show you what my concern is here. There's no button, but there's a trunk release handle. Okay. Back seat is, let's throw my things I don't need over there. Hard to get into. I just hit my head here. Not comfortable at all when you get in and out. But when you're in, there's barely enough room for me, which is okay. If you're in the car for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it's not going too far, that's fine. I wouldn't do a road trip in it though. Standard lights in here. They don't look like LED or anything. Not too fancy, but just a car. No air vents in the rear. We do have door locks that we can set and window switches. And that's it. That's a back seat for you. This is hard to get out of. Okay. Design is much better than the last generation. Problem is there's no way to open the trunk here. There's no button, there's no keyhole. So if you have this key, you have to open the car every time to pull the handle. Whereas if you have this key, hopefully you won't lose it, you get access to the trunk, which looks pretty big, but that's not a very big opening. It's not very big at all. And it fits a bag, and the seats fold down somehow. I guess the handles are on the inside. Yep. And you see things like this, which are part of what keeps the cost of the vehicle down. And yeah, it's just a car. But I will tell you, even with hubcaps and with these fancy headlights, they don't turn in corners or anything, but we still have our radar here. I'll tell you, it's much better than the last generation. So there you go. The Corolla LE. Yeah, the Corolla LE. Not bad for a rental car. Thanks for watching. See you later.